Hey folks, how are you? It's Simon here. I have some new improvements on the live stream today, so hopefully you can hear them. I got a microphone that works better, and I've got a sneaky microphone under my shirt that hopefully also works better. So hopefully you should be able to hear me pretty well. The guitar, of course, is the same. And today we are going to be talking about strumming and rhythm guitar, and any questions you might have on rhythm guitar at all. So if you're in the stream at the moment, do let me know where you are, what your name is, and what you'd like to know about rhythm guitar, and we will try and cover it in the next 20 minutes, half an hour or so. This live stream is brought to you by my people at Patreon, my lovely supporters at Patreon. It's www.patreon.com/Simon Morel. I think it just says just there. So if you go there, you can get charts for every single lesson I put up here at YouTube, including a whole bunch of other stuff, extra lessons, you know, chat, guitar stuff, all that kind of thing. So who do we have here? So when you're here, let me know you're here, and we'll go from there. If you're watching on the replay, just bear with us. I might edit this bit together so that you don't have to watch this. You're going to need a guitar. You're going to need to say good day in the chat. Tell me where you're from, who you are. And we're going to start it pretty much now. Now, one of the big questions I always get as a guitar teacher is, what direction do I strum in? Ah, hi Tracy, how are you? Nice to see you. One of the big questions I always get as a guitar teacher is, you know, how do I know which way to strum? Right, that is pretty much the number one sort of rhythm guitar strumming question that I get. Hi Peter, from Hunter Valley. Ah, beautiful. So, what we're going to cover today, in case you just missed the beginning, is just a few rhythm guitar tips that I always teach people in private lessons that I'm going to show you this morning. A bit of it does require a bit of rhythm reading, which is super easy and nothing to worry about at all. I've got some charts up here which we're going to talk through, and we're going to go like that. Oh, I can see there's more people coming in, probably just grabbing guitars and coffee and stuff. So we're going to start straight away. Now with this Carole King song, let's just scroll down here. Now, I know some of this stuff looks a bit terrifying if you don't read it all the time, but it's really pretty straightforward. The first thing you need to know is that this It's Too Late song by Carole King is in 4/4 time, which basically means it has 4 beats in every bar, right? So you get like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, then that can be divided in any number you like. It can be divided into 15, into 2, into 4, into 6. It's like a pizza, right? So you can chop it up into many pizzas as you like, but there's only ever going to be one pizza or one bar, okay? Now, typically, let me just, typically what you might see is something like, let's just go to the first bar here, like this. So these, let me just put up the old-fashioned stuff. Now, what you might be more familiar with is this sort of looking stuff here on the top, stave. So this is 1 beat, okay? Hi, Stephen. Thanks for coming along. This is another beat, and then this here is a half beat, and this is a half beat, commonly known as quavers in the sort of more Anglophone sort of world, but in the American world, these are called quarter notes because 4 of these make up a bar. These are called 1/8 notes because 8 of those make up a bar, which actually is a kind of a better system, to be honest. But because I've been smashed by the education system, I still call these crotchets, these quavers, and these semiquavers. You see the 2 lines between them there? So how do I know which way to strum here? Well, imagine if we had 8 quavers or 8 1/8 notes, and we had a 4/4 thing, and we were playing an A-7. This is A-7. We would go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and excuse me. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now what you notice there is that we're always going on the down on the 1. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now when it comes to looking at this song, what you noticed I went 1 and 2 and 3 and, because that's what it says to do here. 1, 2, 3 and. 1, 2, 3 and. Make sense? So I came up on the and. So I'm going down on the on beat and I'm coming up on the off beat. That make sense? Pretty clear, right? So 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now, this here is on the 4, but what you'll see, it's tied up. So this is on the and, so this is basically telling you that when you hit this and, it rings onto the 4. Okay? So 1, 2, 3 and, it rings onto the 4, and then here, this D6, we just switch our fingers there to D6. This is on the and after the 4. So effectively, you've got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. Right? So we've gone down, 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 up, miss, up. Okay, Michael, how are you? Welcome from Melbourne. Imminently stormy. Ooh, that sounds a bit ominous. Hope it's not too stormy down there. Bit overcast here today. Quite nice though. Anyway, so that is how strumming works, right? So whatever your smallest note is, or your smallest common denominator, to bring back, grade 6 maths or whatever. Whatever your smallest note is, that is how you decide where the downs are and where the ups are. Does that make sense? I'm hearing crickets at the moment, but I feel like that makes sense with you. I'm getting the internet vibes that makes sense. So let me know if that's true. Cool. Now, obviously, it's not always gonna be eighth notes. Sometimes it might be 16ths. Yes, says Tracy. That's why I like you. Excellent, always. With the comments. Excellent. Now, sometimes, like in Fake Plastic Trees by Radiohead, you are going to have these things here, right? Let me put my old-fashioned thingies on. I might do a bit of explanation about why I don't generally use those. This is the sort of standard music that you saw when you were learning music at school, right? These sorts of regular notation with the dots. And this is this sort of modern, I'll tell you about that in a minute, it's not really very modern at all. Modern tablature stuff, which basically tells you which frets you're going to hold, right? So everybody knows how to play. Hi, Andrew, sunny Port Douglas. That sounds nice. My wife's actually on tour at the moment at Airlie Beach, which I think is up that way. My geography is not very good. But she's doing a sort of soul show, I think, like a Blues Brothers sort of style show at Airlie Beach this afternoon. So, there you go. Anyway, she's a great singer. Her name is Amanda Easton. You should check her out on the internet. We are a bit of a cliche, aren't we? I'm a guitar player, she's a singer. Anyway, and we met doing a gig. There you go. So, we were just talking about the notation there. So you can see now that we've got, this is a crotchet or one beat or a quarter note, right? Then we've got these guys and they're all grouped together. is to indicate that they are one beat together. Because imagine if you had them all spread out, it would be much, much harder to read, right? It's a bit like if you imagine I'd written down a word on a piece of paper and I wrote Radiohead down, but I had the R here and the A there and the D over here and the I over here. You'd have to kind of go, oh, okay, it says Radiohead. So the better you get at reading this stuff, it means you see this in the blue highlighted box and you go, oh, that's 2 and a, right? So how we vocalize that bar now, instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, excuse me, I don't got the gremlins today. Oh, and the sun's come out. That's quite exciting, isn't it? So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, now what we've got is 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, does that make sense? Yeah, so there's 16 things in there, or 16ths, like the Americans say. They're, clever lot. So, but we call them semiquavers over here in Australia because it's a random word. So, get used to sort of counting those out. Now, when you count that smallest common denominator, it makes it easier to play them. So if I'm going 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, it kind of makes a bit more sense in terms of how it's going to sound before you get going. So you're going to feel the semiquavers before you start. So it's going to be easier. Whereas if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and it's kind of harder to get into it. All right. If you've just joined the live stream, by the way, please say who you are and where you're from. I love hearing from where you're from. That's always awesome. We are doing a rhythm guitar lesson today, basically learning when to strum down or when to strum up at the moment. We're going to do some other stuff as well. If you have any questions at all, please just put them in the chat and I'll just come to them when I come to them. I thought we might do a bit longer today, maybe 20 minutes, half an hour, something like that. See how we go. All right. I bought new stuff so that the live stream sounds better. So hopefully it does sound better. Sometimes I struggled a long time with sort of pretty basic mixer and basic stuff. And I've been doing this YouTube thing now properly for maybe 3 or 4 years, 5 years maybe. And I struggled along with sort of $100 of gear, so I actually went to go and buy proper stuff. Oh, Stephen, sounds great. I'm so glad to hear. Because you said the audio is so important, especially when you're doing music stuff. Singletown, number 1 Singletown. Oh, hi. I'm glad to hear that too. Okay, Andrew. Oh, well, maybe I've cracked the live streaming. I remember, my son, when he was younger, he's 16 now and about 2 inches taller than me, which is quite disconcerting. But when he was younger, he used to watch those Minecraft videos. Kids, it's wild, man. So they play the video games and then they stream them playing the video games and other kids watch them play the video games. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't just play the video game yourself. But apparently it's very popular. And I always noticed that they had really excellent audio on their live streams. I was like, how are these kids doing it? So I went to go to a music shop and I asked one of these kids how they did it, and they told me, and I bought the stuff. Oh, it's kind of embarrassing. There you go. So, audio professional Simon Morel here. How are you? We were talking about semiquavers. Semiquavers is something I know all about. Audio, not so much. So, if you look at that, you can see that there's tons of notes within the 4 beats, right? So the pizza is chopped up into loads of bits, right? So 1, 2, and a 3, 4, and a. Now, so we've got 16. So now our kind of offbeat, if you like, is going to be like 1, E, and a. So what you'll notice now is that because our smallest common denominator, or our smallest note, is a 16th, we're going to come up on the E and the A. So now, before we were going, in the Carole King song, we were going, right? Down, 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 up. up. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? And then, now our smallest beat is actually a semiquaver in the strumming instead of a quaver, or a 16th instead of an 8th, okay? So what that means is that we have to go 1 E and A. So on the 1 and the and, we're going down, right? 1 and 2 and A. So that and A is your answer, okay? So that first bar of Fake Plastic Trees by Radiohead, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and all right? Now, then we've got some different kind of shenanigans going on here in the second bar. We've got 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and right? Because this here is one beat. This here, remember I said they were collected into beats, so make it easier to read. You've got, this is one beat because it's by itself. All these notes are all joined together, so that's one beat. These notes are joined together, that's one beat. These notes are joined together, that's one beat. It's pretty clever, hey? Those monks in the 13th century or 12th century or whatever, they had it going on. Probably because they drank so much mead. Anyway, so now, that's what it has typically looked like in the past. But generally what I tend to do, and when they first started putting these tabs in rhythm, this is what they sort of did, right? Or sometimes they had this sort of thing where they had this sort of strumming pattern at the top here, and then the tab underneath, right? So, but what the current thing is, I guess, is that they've kind of combined the rhythm aspect and the tab aspect, and I love this. This is what I use all the time. You know, people come for lessons and they think, I've got to do it properly, so I'm going to have to learn how to read music. But actually, you just need to learn how to read rhythm. That is the trick, right? So 1, 2 and 3, 4 and that's how you know which way you're going to strum. Okay? Fantastic. How's it going? Do we get the semiquaver / 16ths thing going on here? Hopefully you do. Now, it was actually our secular brothers and sisters who invented tablature in maybe, I don't know, 14th century or something. Because the trouble I find with trouble is, if you think about the notes here, this is great for the rhythm, but you need to know that that is an A and that is an E before you can even start. And then you need to know where the A and the E is on the guitar, so you need to kind of translate the dots to this. Thanks very much, number 1 single town. You need to be able to translate that to this, whereas the immediacy of this tells you that you've got an open string here, and then you've got a finger on the 2nd fret there. So it's really, really helpful. I think it's fantastic. I love it. Go my secular lute-playing brothers and sisters who invented this. Okay, now, so this is how you read, how you know which way you're going and what the strumming pattern is, which we're going to talk about in a minute, because that's one of the things that I kind of does my head in a bit. But that's how you know what direction you're going in. You always pick the lowest common denominator. Can you hear the planes going over? Yeah, well, I can't do anything about that. I live in Petersham in New South Wales, which is, I don't know, 3 kilometres from the airport or something. And I've just moved house. This is a new house that I'm in, which is very exciting. And I haven't had the windows done. I've got the windows done in my old house, but obviously you can't bring the windows with you. But that's okay. You'll just have to bear with the planes for a few months until I save up some money and get the windows done. But it's interesting to know what you can hear. And hopefully, like I said, it does sound good today, because I did try hard. So, now, what were we talking about? Oh, that's right. So, The other thing about this is that when you're playing rhythm guitar, you really are like a drum, a musical drum. So you're keeping the rhythm for the song. So if you think about, for example, Fake Plastic Trees, I don't know, maybe, I can't play it because then the copyright police will come to my house and take my house away or something. But if you think about the tune, when the drums come in, maybe the second verse or second chorus or somewhere like about a minute into the song, you hear this like 1, 2 and a 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3. That kind of, that kind of 90s drum beat thing. That kind of, and those are semiquavers, right? So what you are doing as the acoustic guitar or the rhythm guitarist on this tune is you are basically matching the drum, right? So when the drums, so when people, you go and see a band and you come out of the band and somebody in the group says, man, that band was ace. They were really tight, they played well together, or there was some kind of cool vibe. What they really mean when they say that is that if there was an accent or if there's something that's slightly unusual in the tune, that the sort of the rhythm section, by that I mean the drums and the bass and the kind of the guitar and the piano or whatever, are all doing that thing at the same time, right? So a good example of that kind of thing is, let's have a really embarrassing example. Jessie's Girl by Rick Springfield. Right. So it goes. So that is on the offbeat, right? And the drums hit it, the guitar hits it, the bass hits it. They're all like. You know what I mean? And so they are tight. They're playing it all together at the same time. And so, but if imagine if the guitar wasn't doing that, but the bass and drums were doing that, it would feel kind of weird. Oh yes, I did some guitar action. Hi, welcome to Jazz Club. Yes, I'm a blow-in with the chisel. So Tracy is not from Australia. So when I first moved to Australia, this is a bit of an aside and not really much to do with rhythm guitar. When I moved to Australia, it was a bit like moving to a parallel universe, because I'm originally from the UK. And there was like 6 or 7 bands here which were really, really famous. Like, I'm talking like, Beatles famous, right? But I'd never heard of them and never heard of any of their songs. Actually, I had heard of Jimmy Barnes because Jimmy Barnes had a hit in the UK with NXS. Good Times, I think, was the tune. But apart from that, I didn't know he was in a band. I thought it was just some dude that had like a top 20 song hit in whenever that came out, the late 80s maybe. And so then I came over to Australia and I discovered there's all this amazing, fully amazing music that I'd never heard of. And in fact, when I first met my wife, she was singing backing vocals for Richard Clapton. And so I went to go and see a Richard Clapton gig, and it was like at, I don't know, North Sydney RSL or something, and there was like 2,000 people there. And there was like, 1,999 of those people knew all the words to all the songs. And like, I'd never heard any of these songs before, so they're all singing along. And it was just like, everything was really familiar to me. There was like a band doing their thing, there was a bunch of people dancing, there's a bar, there's a bunch of drunk people moshing around. But it was weird because I'd never heard the songs before. And so one of my newfound Australian people that I met here when I first got here, he was like, you need to listen to this record. And listen to that record, and it was just awesome. So, Tracy, go and listen to Circus Animals by Cold Chisel today. You will love it. It's got some beautiful songs on it and some killer songs on it. It's just a great record. Anyway. Skyhooks too. But my two favourite, probably four favourite maybe, Chisel, Australian Crawl. I love the Sunny Boys. The Sunny Boys are a bit of a new thing to me. Flame Trees, yeah, Flame Trees is the winner. Yeah, so those three are really good. Australian Crawl, Cold Chisel, Sunny Boys. Some really good stuff. Anyway, okay, back to rhythm guitar. So you've got to basically just match up what you are doing and match the drums, right? So this song goes like 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 E and a. Right now, even at the end there where it went like 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 E and a, because the drums at the end go like 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 E and a. I mean, the drums literally do that. Okay, so you've just got to listen to what the song is doing and match what the song is doing. Okay, so that's my second point. First point was Good Times. Yeah, it's a good song. There's so many good songs, hey? Australian songs that a lot of people haven't heard. Which is kind of partly why I started doing these lessons, because so I've been teaching here in Australia since 2001 and 2002. And quite often people would come to lessons and they're like, I want to learn Good Times. And I'd be like, okay, who's that by? And then I'd learn it, and then I'd try and find sheet music or music for it. And literally, that even massive hits, things like K-Sam by Cold Chisel, you can't really find good charts for that. You just can't find them. Friday on My Mind, or, even, I don't know, Boys Light Up by Australian Crawl, or any of that. You just can't find charts for that. And so I started writing my own charts. And then in COVID happened, did a YouTube channel, and hey presto, now people learn Australian songs the right way, which is great. So that's the first thing. So you just got to learn a little bit how to read the rhythm and realize what your smallest common denominator is, okay? And then that direction is the direction you go in, okay? So like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and see, now I've got semiquavers, so it's a bit different. So it just depends. Horror movie. See, that's one I don't know, but I'll have to learn it. Number 2, listen to what the drums are doing and match the drums. That is a great trick. So follow the band, be tight with the band. Okay, and the last thing I wanted to talk about, if there weren't any other rhythm guitar questions, so if you do have any other rhythm guitar questions, fire them up now, and then after point 3, I will answer your questions. When you first start learning the guitar, knowing the strumming pattern is super, super useful. Super useful. Because what it means is you can kind of stick your right hand on automatic pilot. So let's, like Green Day. That's a really good, easy beginner song. Go. Time of your life. No regrets? Good riddance? Come over. Signs. Let the good times roll. Oh. I love the comments. So good. I know it distracts me and probably it's quite annoying, but I love reading them. Okay, so that is like 1 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, let's get rid of this chart because it's not the right song anyway. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So all I've done there is I've got the same pattern the whole time. Down, down, up, down, up. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, which is great, right? And then you learn the chords. G. This is like a C add 2. D, G, C, D. And it's super helpful because you just need to put your right hand on automatic pilot and you do. But he doesn't really do that exactly the same throughout the song. And in fact, nobody ever does. Nobody ever does it exactly the same all the time. Just, it's not how it works. So, you've got to just be sympathetic to what the drums are doing, right? But at the beginning, that is a really awesome thing. You know, what direction do I go? What is the string pattern is really, really good. But, you know, as long as you are matching what's happening on the tune, it's going to be fine, right? So, now the first bar I went down, down, up, down, up. Then I went down, up, down, up, down. What did I do? Down, up, down, up, down, up. So I went 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, you see what I mean? So I went down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So I put like an extra strum in on the and after the 1, right? Did it sound wrong, terrible? No, it did not, because it was sympathetic to what the tune is doing, okay? And that is a really, really good thing to learn, right? So, you know, I always say to everybody in lessons, the more of your body, I sound like a hippie, right? But the more of your body that's in the music, the better you play the music. So if you're tapping your foot and you're thinking, you know, you're thinking that at the same time, then you're going to play the music better. If you've got the song playing in your head, you're concentrating on doing, you kind of think, it's not, you know, you're not thinking, you know, what am I going to make for tea tonight, kind of thing. All right? So down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up is basically what I'm doing, but you can change it. You see what I mean? So that is something you can do to improve your strumming, like immediately, is just really try and listen to the whole thing. Okay, now the title of my video here was how to instantly know the right strumming pattern for any song. So what we've done today, we've spoken about reading the music. I know, reading the music. The craziness is true. So like in this chart here, we've got 1, 2, and okay? And that's how you know what direction you're going to go. This is going to be your down, 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 up, because it's up, right? We spoke a bit about Carole King. It's one of my favorite songs. It's such a good song. Down, 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 up, right? Now, you'll probably notice I've got like an arrow going down. This is a bit confusing. But actually, on the record, she goes at the beginning of the song, which actually is up, which is the wrong way. Oh my God. Now, there's always going to be an exception, and it just happens like this in this particular tune. So you're like... But you see, I've notated it so you know what you need to do, right? But then, in the rest of the song, it only happens once. Because, you know, when you start the song here, you've got like this 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1. So in here, see, it changes around. So you've got like an A-B sort of situation. 1, 2, 3 and. Then this rings onto the 1. This is a 2. 3, and 4, right? That's what I've got written here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and 2, 3, and 4. And that's how you know what direction you need to go in, okay? 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and... 'Cause it's so beautiful. Okay. Then we also spoke about just got to be sympathetic to what the drums are doing. You know, if you think about that a bit in the Carole King song I just played, it goes bum, 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 ba, ba, bum, bum. Everybody is doing that rhythm. Go and listen to the tune, right? They're all going bum, chicka, dun, chicka, da, 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 'cause it's right. So just match what the drums are doing. And the third thing is that whilst there are strumming patterns 100% at the beginning, as you progress on the guitar, what you'll realize is that you just need to play something that fits, right? Kind of point 2, I guess, all right? So there was no other rhythm guitar questions. I can't believe it. I can't believe you didn't have any questions. Any things you're stuck with? I don't know, muting or, I don't know, I literally don't know. I'm still struggling keeping my hand moving when there is more than one miss in a row. Yeah. Keeping your hand moving is really good, right? Because what I experience a lot when I teach people is that they are going like, you know, they sort of strum and then their whole hand moves like this. So if you can kind of loosen up your wrist, that's probably the most important thing. And that's always going to be going, actually you think about it, like even in this Carole King thing where we're going like down, it's still coming up in between. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and, you know what I mean? Like it's going the whole time. So it's just when you hit the guitar and when you don't hit the guitar. I'm keeping my hand moving when there is more than one miss. And keeping your hand moving is good. Sometimes if you've got a massive gap and there's nothing happening, you don't really need to keep your hand moving. Do you know what I mean? You know, sometimes the guitar's a lot different to anything else in that there's no like, this is how you must do it sort of technique sort of stuff. I mean, there are notionally rules, of course, like everything, but it's not like the piano where you must hold your hands like this and you must sit like this, or the flute, whichever way it is, you must do this. And because there's loads of brilliant guitar players who have really terrible technique, right? The one thing I would say with the strumming is always try and keep your fingers out. Because what it means is you can get closer. Angels, that's what I was going to say. That was the other band. Anyway, so that kind of thing. Keep your fingers out. That's helpful. Yeah, and like I said, the more of your body that's in the music at the same time, the better the music, right? So, you know, be tapping your foot or just thinking about the song as you're playing it. Oh, indeed. All right, folks. Well, thanks very much for coming along to my newfangled technology stream situation. I hope that was helpful. If you're watching on replay, I do appreciate watching a replay. If you have any questions, you can just put in the comments below. Oh, because I'm needy, you have to give me a like on this stream, so just click that yes, I liked it button. That would be awesome. Or like all musicians, really, they're just crying out for attention. So that would be great. And I will see you next month for another Patreon-sponsored stream. You can do Patreon, and there's charts for all of my tunes up here at YouTube over at Patreon. Plus, I have exclusive lessons twice a month, an Aussie one. This month it's going to be No Secrets by Angels, which I haven't yet recorded, but hopefully I will record today. And another lesson. Sometimes it's a song, sometimes it's a bit like this, sort of like a real guitar lesson. all sorts of things. I have trivia up there, different articles. You know, come over, you can check it out. You can actually join as a free member and see what there is first, I think. So go over there, patreon.com/Simon Morel. I will see you in about 3-4 weeks, something like that, for another live stream. If you have any questions, please just send them over, put them in the comments, and I will try and help you out. Thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I will see you next time. Bye for now.